Yo, what is up guys, it is Samool here, back again with another Should You Pull video for Epic 7, and today we're going to be talking about the banner that is releasing a few hours after this video's release, and that banner will be replacing Cerise, who by the way is a limited unit. If you guys have not picked her up, I really recommend picking her up because she's very good in PvE and PvP, and she only comes around once a year because she is limited, and her artifact Guiding Light is very strong, so you're going to want to buy that from the powder shop. That set aside, after her banner ends in a couple hours, we have Pavel, Pavement, whatever you want to call him, Green Boy. This guy is a very strong PvP unit and a PvE unit as well, as you'll see. And if you guys follow the Epic 7 lore, him and Cerise are actually, got a little something going on. So that's kind of why they release him after Cerise's banner every single year. But yeah, if you guys aren't interested in that, that's fine as well. I'm just saying. But yeah, Pavel, very good unit. PvE, he's going to be very strong in Banshee one-shot. That's where he's mostly going to be used, and in PvP he's a very strong, super fast opener that is really good against certain ice units. Now let's go over his stats real quick. So you'll see when he's max awakened, he's actually 124 base speed, very high, and that makes it so that it's really easy to get him to be very fast because speed set is a percentage speed boost, as you know, and it always scales with your base speed. So just having a higher base speed makes it so that it's easier to get just higher speed in general. Now, let's go over his skills real quick. So his S3 is going to be a single target attack, and it ignores Aureus when you're not attacking elite or boss monster, basically. And this damage scales with your speed, similar to Ran, similar to Vildred. So you can build him super fast and be a little bit more lenient on attack and crit damage, although you want it to be very high still, and he's still going to do a crap ton of damage. Now his S2 is a AoE attack, and this will give you a increased attack buff, and this is really good because you get the attack buff before you attack, and also if you soulburn this for 20 souls, you get an extra turn. Now this will also scale with your speed, and this cannot trigger a counterattack, so it makes it really good against counter teams. So you'll see that this kind of makes him a very good rem counter. So basically what he does is he has a a mage hold Talgahels. You soulburn your S2, just AoE everyone, it cannot trigger rem's S2. Then you S3 right after into Rem, and you're going to one-shot her most of the time. Even if you kill another unit with his S2 in Demon Mode procs, it doesn't matter. You just S3 Rem right after, and she will die. Now you're going to notice the cooldown on this is pretty short. It's a 3-turn cooldown on his S2 when you mole it, and then when you mole his S3, it'll be 4 turns. So if you soulburn his S2 and then S3, it's only a 2-turn cooldown technically, so if you actually get him to survive long enough, you can actually get multiple S2s out, which makes him very strong. Now you'll see his S1 is going to be just a basic attack. This also scales with his speed, and it's just a decreased hit chance. You're not really going to use this much. You don't have to muller this because he's mostly a 2-turn unit. You're just going to S2, S3, and the game's pretty much over at that point. Now we have his exclusive equipment, which will get added to kind of buff him. You'll see you can improve his S2 and his S3. S3 gives him a skill nully, which is very good. Like I said, his cooldowns are very short in S2 and S3, so if you get that skill nully, you can actually survive to get another rotation off if you have, enough ways to keep him alive. And if you're carrying multiple books, you can actually soulburn this twice in a battle, and it makes it very annoying to fight against. Pavel's just super annoying to fight against, and keep in mind you're building him super fast, so you'll cycle very quickly. And his exclusive equipment gives him crit chance, which makes it easier to build him. Crit chance is one of the hardest stats to get, especially if you're building your unit super fast. So just having that crit chance exclusive equipment is very nice. And then you have his other S2 abilities. You actually can increase the attack of another ally with the highest attack, so it makes him very good in cleave. He can be like a pseudo attack buffer. You can also, dispel. There's a lot of things you can do. Honestly, the most common ones is going to be the second one and the third one. Second one's better in just straight up cleave comps, and S3 one is better in kind of like World Arena settings where you want to draft him as a speed contester, not always in cleave. So yeah, PvE, very good in Banshee one-shot. He has a crazy damage modifier on his S3. In PvP, he's also very strong as a opener. You can use him to counter some units, right? Honestly, every time you see like a Rem or SSB, you can always just whip out Pavel, and he's a hard counter. He's just going to one-shot everyone. It's really nice against like SSB in general because you just S2, and you're not going to trigger SSB's S2 counterattack because it's only 4 stacks, and then you just S3 right after and one-shot her. So very strong. Now the thing is with Pavel is, I'd say like a while back, maybe like a season or 2 ago, probably 2 seasons ago, he was a very strong pick. I actually pre-banned him a lot in World Arena because he's just super annoying to deal with. Let's just say if he's really geared, he's just going to one-shot people. But the thing is, his gear requirements are super high, and the meta's kind of shifted away from him because you're not seeing as many Rems lately. You're seeing a lot more tanky units, and there's going to be more annoying openers that can actually survive his burst. Like Conqueror Williams won't get one shot. You also have Angel of Light, where if you S2, you're going to proc her S2 as well, and then you can't even one shot because that skill nullifier is up, right? So really annoying to deal with. So Pavel definitely has fallen out of the meta quite a bit. But he's still pretty strong. You can still use him in a lot of scenarios as a good counter pick. He's just not as, blind pickable anymore like he used to be. Now, is he worth pulling for, guys? I don't think he's worth it. For early game and mid game players, there are better Banshee one-shotters out there, which is going to be the main selling point for him, for you guys that are new to the game. And also, he's very, very hard to get for PvP. He is still very fun to use, and he's a very good single target cleaver and an AoE cleaver. You can run him with like Challenger Dominion and stuff like that. But keep in mind, there's also Bellions everywhere in defense, and if you don't have souls on Pavel, he does not work. You absolutely need souls, so it's really hard to draft him nowadays because Bellion's everywhere. If you want to use him in World Arena, you're going to have to pre-ban Bellion, and wasting your pre-ban on Bellion opens up Conqueror Ilias, Rand, who has a higher base speed than him, who can outspeed him, Angel of Light, who counters him, right? There's just so many answers, so it's kind of really hard to use him. And also, the fact that he needs souls to work very well, you can just ban his book holders next to him. Usually when you see like a very scary Pavel draft, you just ban the book holder and you're fine. So yeah, very hard to use. I don't think he's worth it in my opinion. If you asked me 2 seasons ago, I'd be like, yeah, pull for this guy if you're late game. He's just super strong. But even for late game players, I think his PvP usage has definitely fallen off quite a bit. So I don't think he's really worth pulling for anymore. Now let's go over his artifact, guys. The artifact that's running alongside him is going to be Dux Noctis. So Dux Noctis is a ranger artifact. And you can see that every time you make a crit, your attack stacks, and this works on AoE attacks. Now, you might think this is pretty good on Pavel, but the thing is, the attack boost is not that high, and you're not going to build him with super high base attack anyways. You're going to run him on a super high crit damage build because you really want a lot of speed. And also, you're not going to run Dux Noctis on him. The most common artifacts you're going to see are like Portrait for that extra damage, which is very, very common. And if you're very, very scared of Assassin Quilly and Assassin Sid as a strong counterpick to him, because keep in mind both those units do have a higher base speed than him and can counter him pretty easily, you're going to run him on Cerese's artifact, Guiding Light, which is very, very good on Ranger openers as well. So Dux Noctis, not ever used in PvE. I don't really see anyone use it. In PvP, technically you can use it on some Rangers. You can use it on any AoE opener. Like I've seen Pavel actually use it, Operator Sigurd use it, but I just don't think that it's worth buying from the powder shop for 240 powder. You can always just run Portrait of Saviors if you have it from Guilty Gear Collab, or Exorcist Tonfa, or Symbol of Unity, just anything else that boosts attack, because Dux Noctis does have to stack up a bit, and yeah, just is not worth it in my opinion. So I think this artifact is a very, very, very easy skip. Do not waste your powder on this. If you get some copies, I might even consider Dust Snake, but if you want to hold on to it in case it gets a buff, be my guest, because this artifact definitely needs a buff and it's not really worth it in my opinion. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my should you pull Pavel and his artifact Dux Noctis, guys. Just to summarize, basically both are not really worth pulling for in my opinion. Pavel used to be very, very strong in PvP, but he's definitely fallen off, and his artifact is not that great to begin with. So yeah, and as always, guys, if this video helped you guys out, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I do plan to start streaming again on Twitch soon. I'm going to be streaming my 0 to Hero challenge, where I make a new account that's completely free to play, and I'm going to be using only 3 stars to progress in the game, and I'm not going to use any specialty change units. I also decided to add that because honestly, a lot of specialty change units you can use everywhere and carry you through the entirety of the game. So I decided let's not use any specialty change units either, and that may make the challenge a lot more interesting and hard, because you're not going to see me use like a Momo, Falcon McClurry, A Ross, Seal Rena everywhere, right? Now I'm going to have to actually use some very, very, unique units that you'll never see. So yeah, as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.